Ooh, what's up, guys? Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me, I'm here for another Scum on One. Today we will be discussing this recent news that actually just came out, 15 minutes ago, regarding Call of Duty and the fact that it will be remaining on PlayStation platforms despite the Microsoft acquisition. So I will go ahead. Hold on. Check my audio. Remaining on PlayStation platforms despite the Microsoft acquisition. All right, so what's up, Arcade? Let me go ahead and tweet out this show. Okay. What's up, Philip? What's up, Smitty? What's up, Drav? All right, let me tweet this out. Exclusive. All right, Call of Duty will not be exclusive. Despite what a lot of people have been saying and speculating, Call of Duty is not going to be exclusive to the Microsoft platform, or I should say Xbox ecosystem, because that extends to PC. Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. Now, I was saying this a couple of days ago on when we were first discussing the news. I was like, it doesn't make any sense for them to take Call of Duty off of PlayStation. Call of Duty will probably remain on PlayStation platforms because Call of Duty is a major multiplayer game. That's what I said. It makes perfect sense to me. I guess it makes sense to my good father Phil as well. So tis man. So let's go over this tweet. What's up, Ryan? What's up, the Sly Crow? Def? What's up, Outlaw? Mikiel. Yes, if Sony acquired Activision Blizzard, they wouldn't give Xbox a single crumb. That's true. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that if Sony had been the one to purchase Activision and Blizzard, I think Call of Duty would solely be on PlayStation. I mean, if you take a look at even the past, I remember there was a certain marketing from Sony that made it seem like certain games were only on PlayStation. Like I thought Destiny 1 was only on PlayStation back when I didn't know anything about gaming, you know? So, what's up, Holes? Yes, we're all scumbags here. I agree with that. So, I mean, like I said, it makes perfect fucking sense to me. And I definitely think that this is to be expected given who Phil is, you know? So, Phil says, had good cause this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship. So, a lot of people were concerned about certain titles going fully exclusive, Call of Duty being the biggest one. As I stated before, we discussed this on my show. I was like, I think they're keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation. Phil confirms, yes, we are keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation. Is this a good move? I don't know. Like, I think it really depends. Like, there are certain different ways to take it. You know what I mean? On one hand, keeping Call of Duty just on Xbox would force people to pick up either an Xbox or play on PC. People who are fans of Call of Duty, who are staunch when it comes to their love of Call of Duty, who pick it up every single year, they most likely would have picked up an Xbox if they didn't already have one or don't already have one in order to play whatever the next Call of Duty expansion would be or whatever the next Call of Duty game is. That makes sense to me. They could have done that short-term loss for long-term gain, right? Or, okay, or they can keep the game on PlayStation, slap Call of Duty in Game Pass for the Xbox and PC users, but have it on PlayStation charging that $70. They make all that money from the PlayStation ecosystem. And, you know, either way, they're going to be making their bread. And it's like PlayStation users will have to come to a decision. So the PlayStation users who typically get Call of Duty on PlayStation, but have both systems or have a PlayStation 5 and a PC, it turns into, damn, I could fucking spend this $70 on Call of Duty for my PlayStation, or I can go ahead and pick me up an Xbox to play Activision Blizzard games. Or I can just pick it up on PC to play this game, which will be in Game Pass. While Xbox and PC users, I'm assuming they're going to be including PC users in this. I don't know for sure because I know PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass are separate things, and they get separate games at separate times, right? But Xbox users will be paying if they so choose, will be paying that 10, 15, $20 a month, whatever it is that they increase the price to, and they'll be getting Call of Duty at a discount essentially. And it's like Xbox wins either way, you know? So like this makes perfect fucking sense to me. I know it sucks in regards to like console war standpoints. I know there are people who don't wanna hear this shit, but it is what it is, man. Um, you know? Let me read these comments. So same old says console shortages. So for the midterm, short term, I can see it. Make them get an Xbox account instead of Activision account. Yeah, they get that. They get that Xbox account. They can add that Xbox account to their numbers for Xbox Live. So let's see here. 70 bill just for COD to stay on PlayStation. None of your business says the devil's in the details. Why didn't he say all future CODs? He said honoring and keeping COD on PS. Could that be what they did with EOS and Trash Out 76? Your thoughts, Luca? Okay, so if we go through the tweet exactly, right? I'm taking these two. Let's see here. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm taking this as actually an and, not like a single statement. So them saying we plan on honoring all existing agreements upon acquisition and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, those are two separate statements. I don't think them keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation has anything to do with established agreements or existing agreements from beforehand. I think that's going to be a long-term decision. Honestly, I mean that's what I genuinely think. I genuinely think they're going to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation just because Call of Duty sells the most on PlayStation. And it's like they'll be making that money, dude. See, Ryan says, I think they're honoring existing agreements, but future games could still go exclusive. We got over a year before the ink dries, but yeah, Xbox wins either way. Yeah. Let me go ahead and look through more of these comments. Give me a second, boys. All right. Omni King says Phil's too nice. He didn't have to, but he's still going to honor future COD games going to PlayStation. The fact that he has the power in his hands. All right. Spencer says Sony guys can finally come out of their room. Rock says there's two reasons. The government said the deal wouldn't go through if they made COD exclusive. Did they really? Or is this like speculation? Or Sony's not competition as stated by analysts earlier. It's Amazon, Apple, and Facebook. Oh damn. Okay. M10 says shame the pussies running Sony don't give a damn about the industry. Okay. Jay says I still think it's PR talk for SEC. What's up, Dayron? What's up, Slycro said, how would the profits work if COD is bought on PlayStation? I'm assuming the same way it works with the Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76. Those games have microtransactions, right? So Microsoft needs the money. I don't think Microsoft needs the money. I think they're good with money wise. Thanaros says Xbox doesn't need to have Call of Duty exclusive just in Game Pass day and date. Yeah, it's not really doom and gloom. Kenta says the new COD will not be on PlayStation. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm taking this as him saying all COD, man. You guys really think it's like he's just talking about the first one, or he's being vague, or there's something else going on? All right, what's up, Hola Fernando? Let's see here. Does Sony still take a cut of the COD purchase? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I mean, I think for sure they're keeping Warzone on there. That makes sense. All right, that guy Smitty says thinking they will split the multiplayer from campaign, keep the multiplayer on everything, but the campaign only on Game Pass. That I mean, that would be one thing, sure. Let's see here. Microsoft didn't buy Activision for COD. Candy Crush is where the real money is. Mobile does make up what 55% of the industry in regards to something. I can't remember. Me Papa says hit the like button, but like the government definitely did not say that. Witness the Truth said, haven't we learned anything with the Bethesda deal? Why are people still pretending that these games will be going to PlayStation? He didn't say Warzone. He said Call of Duty. He didn't clarify. He didn't say which one, bro. What's up, Sen? Let's see, King Supreme says all CODs prior to 2023 will be multi-plat. Okay. Singer's like, I don't know, it's way too vague. Warzone standalone, mainline is interesting. You want a link, Singer? Yeah, but it's not just one single sentence. It's like it's an and, because it's like he's addressing the Sony reps who came through and were like, we're expecting Microsoft to honor existing agreements upon acquisition. That's one thing. And then our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. I'm reading that as a separate statement personally. Lino? Oh, shout out to Lino. Oh, Boo! Boo bought me Elden Ring. Oh my god. See, this is what I be talking about when I say that my people be taking care of me. Thank you. I'm glad, because I was just about to hold on. Give me 1 second. Shout out to Lino, man. He got me Elden Ring for PlayStation. Appreciate it, man. All right. 3-bit. You want a link? Singer, you want a link? Let me know, boys. Oh, I cannot. Hold on. It's not letting me go up for some reason. But yeah, shout out to Lino, guys. He's doing the Lord work. He knows I want that Elden Ring. All right, Gregory says desire doesn't mean they will do it. Phil said he didn't want to take games from people, but no Starfield on PlayStation. Yeah, but at the same time, there are many places you can access Starfield. So there's that. I mean, a lot of it is like, Phil's very good with his words, essentially. So, all right, give me 1 second to send these links. Singer. Hold on. I know I saw some Xbox guys expressing discontent about this decision, but I don't know, man. We'll have to see. What's up, Melodic? Yes, shout out to Lino, man. My people be taking care of me. All right, Jay says PS fans celebrating better pump than brakes. Existing contracts, no mention of future cause, but we'll see. All right. Let me go up, guys. What's up, bro? JD says that's PR speak for how badly do you want Call of Duty? Oh, that's funny.
What's up, Luca?
What up? What up? Dayron says, Luca, quick question. You think if any of the big tech companies bought Activision, would everything be seen differently, or do you think Microsoft is monopolizing the market? I do not think Microsoft is monopolizing the market, because that would mean that they would have to have like a majority, right? Give me 1 second. Have a majority in regards to revenue, mobile revenue. And aren't they still third? Aren't they still behind Sony? So, and something else too, right? Let's see here.
Tencent.
Tencent. All right, I'm looking at what statista.com. I don't know how valid that is, but apparently mobile gaming makes up 57% of the gaming revenue worldwide. So technically, mobile gaming is leading, quote unquote, leading the industry. So Microsoft wouldn't be able to monopolize in that sense because they don't take off a majority. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm not a money person, and I'm not a financial advisor. So it's just my opinion. I think this is what's going on, but who fucking knows? You know. Let me read these comments. Um, let me see. I'm gonna send 3-bit this link. Give me 1 second, just in case if he's free. Oh, let me not show my DMs online. I was talking shit earlier. You got anything to say?
I actually do. This is it just seems super vague in the typical Phil statement because you know how people generally say how all his statements are kind of vague when he puts the statements out. Um, like for example, this one you look at it and it's like to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Okay, so you keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, but Warzone is its own thing. You could download Warzone without
Mm-hmm.
having owning Vanguard, for example. So you could play Call of Duty without needing Vanguard. So is he talking Call of Duty in a total sense? Or is it just Warzone? Or is it just the standalone Call of Duty? Because Warzone's its own thing in of itself. So that's what I'm like, this doesn't tell me either way. Just saying Call of Duty means nothing. It's weird. They had the same problem when it came to Bethesda, you know, when it was the vague, will stuff be exclusive or not exclusive? It's the same thing.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we do have to wait and see what happens once everything finally goes through. Once everything is once the ink is dry, okay. Once they finally get the approval, if it finally goes through. But I am taking this as them leaving Call of Duty and future Call of Duties on PlayStation. All right. Shout out to None of Your Business with Super Chat saying, how hard would it have been to say and keep existing an up and coming COD on PlayStation? I think he left it open ended on purpose. I don't trust corporations. I'm just saying. I agree. Also, given the fact that the deal isn't finalized, it hasn't gone
Yep,
through fully, I don't think he can say anything. So he's got to be vague. Does that make sense?
yep.
So at the end of the day, I think we all take it the way that we decide to take it.
It's up for interpretation.
Yeah. So let me look at these quote tweets because I know people are fucking mad, bro. Anyway, moving on from that.
I see more comments about people confused. That like half the comments when I was reading through it, they were like, "Wait, does he mean?"
All right, so Singer just got disconnected, so I don't know what's going on with that. What's up?
Oh, sorry about
Yeah.
that. Yeah, my mic unplugged. But what I was going to say was, wait, oh yeah, half of it's confused because people want to know what does he mean exactly. Obviously, he can't say anything legally. He can't say either way. But it's more confusion than anger I've seen. Like, of course, you have the odd extremist here and there, you know, throwing
Mm-hmm.
it to the pram, but all champions, someone's celebrating, someone's upset in their room crying. But the majority of people are just confused.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Go ahead, Bit.
Oh, hey guys.
Hi, hi.
Uh yeah, so it's to me it's kind of what he was saying before. I know he like you really have to pay attention to what Phil is saying due to like legal stuff. But I'm pretty sure when he's saying they will honor all existing agreements. It's kind of what it sounds like. Any existing contracts that's between Phil or pretty much PlayStation and Activision will be honored. Kind of what they did with Obsidian and Outer Worlds. They bought them before that happened, and they pretty much honored those deals. And as soon as those contracts are done, then I'm pretty sure it's going to be exclusive, just based on what's happening with ZeniMax. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much how I see it. But I guess time will tell. And anything that's coming to Game Pass is where those games will lie. Kind of how they said it in that one interview. Um, so pretty much where Game Pass is where those games are going to lie, unless it's a game like Warzone where it makes sense for that game. They're not going to pull any games off. They already clarified that in that long article that they just released today. So they want to make that clear that they're not going to pull any games off, but also any existing deals that they made with PlayStation. They're not going to be like, well, those contracts are no longer valid. They're going to honor those, and anything going forward after those contracts are done will most likely be exclusive, which is crazy.
Addict, can you please DM me? Thank you. All right, shout out to Eagles fan with super chat saying Phil talking legal. He used desire, which means it's up to Sony, okay, to make a deal after their contract agreements are up. Okay, that's definitely one way to take it. Thank you. That's a good one. You guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right. And then shout out to Sin Vendetta with super chat saying once the contractual obligations are done, the only way PlayStation will be getting any future Activision Blizzard games will be if PlayStation has Game Pass. Yeah, that's what a lot of people. That's what I've seen people say as well, Sin. Like, can you imagine Game Pass on PlayStation? I would love it. I think it would be so funny.
It'd be the
I think
best
it'd be
thing
great
ever.
on the Switch too. That'd be kind of cool.
All right, let me open up this tweet. Switch to the app. All right, this is what Greg Miller says. Greg says Xbox Game Pass on PS5. Our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Hey, we wanted to keep COD on PlayStation via Game Pass, but PlayStation said no. So a lot of people are coming up with these different interpretations of his words. Like I said, I have a completely different perspective than 3-bit. And I think that he's talking about the mainline Call of Duty games. And I think that they're just going to keep all of them on there after the contract is up too. That's my thought process. I could be wrong though, especially considering the other deal that we have to go off is the Bethesda acquisition, but at the same time 7 billion versus 70 billion. Maybe the rules are a little bit different regarding the acquisitions and what they plan on doing with those franchises. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well, we know what it does, because we know what obviously they don't care about making that money back right away. It's not immediate. That's a long-term play, because you have to remember at the baseline, Activision and Bethesda is fuel for Game Pass. That's the whole point of this purchase. Is they don't care about the rest of it. They just want to service Game Pass. So Game Pass is the objective. So to that end, they're going to do whatever is best for Game Pass to push Game Pass subs. Now, with that being said, this is a multifaceted acquisition because they have xCloud, which is in the gaming market, and King specializes in phone games, and that is also where Apple is. So it gives them a chance to, go fuck around with Apple, go have some fun with them, in the market space. It gives them a foothold in the PC space because StarCraft and World of Warcraft are humongous. And then the console side of it. So they're hitting Game Pass on PC, they're hitting Game Pass on console, they're hitting xCloud, where Game Pass is. So for them, I think after all the deals are done, whatever Activision has signed with Sony. They'll do whatever's best for Game Pass. So if that means keeping it exclusive, that's what they're gonna do. Because at the end of the day, it's all about Game Pass. Like, that's it. That is the focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Call of Duty will push subs, a lot of subs.
Call of Duty would push subs. I would agree with that. All right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, boys. All right, let me open this up here. All right, Attic, I sent you a link. Luca, do you think Xbox will bring games like Warcraft to Xbox and PC? Isn't Warcraft already on PC?
Yeah, it's already on PC.
Yeah.
It means just Xbox.
I think he means like Xbox.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. He just means Xbox.
Yeah, probably.
All right. What's up, Blade X? What's up, Royal? It's my guy right there, Royal Boyle. Read through these comments. Hello. Why won't my stuff let me scroll up? All right. Caught on PlayStation in exchange for an end to these dumb timed exclusives. Wouldn't that be nice, everyone? Zydo Goro. Wouldn't that be nice? John says Microsoft going to get scrutinized because regulators do not like them at all. All right. What is this image?
I think it's because he's got his camera on.
Ah, okay. All right. Call of Duty Minecraft Edition. All right.
To add to your point about the different ecosystems, this is something I've talked about before, and I think it is a good point, and something that a lot of people don't consider is the fact that when Microsoft is thinking about their ecosystem and whenever they're talking about it, and they did make comments before that they want to be clearer with their messaging on exclusivity. That PC, the mobile space, and Xbox is those three ecosystems alone surpass like Sony's numbers. So when people say like, oh, they need PlayStation, I don't think they necessarily do. I think it kind of will benefit them to have people sort of come over, because I know a lot of people who would that will go over to certain systems based on certain games, and they don't really have the loyalty. I know Twitter is like this space where you can. It seems like that is the majority of what people think, but for the most part, when Phil is making these comments and like will exist, will have the pre-existing contracts that they will honor. I'm pretty sure that it just means they'll pretty much honor those agreements that already exist and everything after.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey.
Do I sound fine, or is it coming through the right mic?
You sound fine.
Yeah, you sound pretty good.
I'm like before Phil's tweet, I was like 50-50. Now I'm like 70-30. Because like part of me feels like there's no real like the only reason that you would not put Call of Duty on that you would not put Call of Duty on PlayStation is I personally feel like if they were going to take away the yearly Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying? Like just like do Call of Duty like bi-yearly or something, because to me a yearly Call of Duty doesn't make sense as an exclusive. Like, but if they keep, so that's why I felt like it could go either way. Now, the difference between like this Phil Spencer tweet, Phil never tweeted something like this with Bethesda, not this clear. Sure, you could pick this apart, and he could easily be saying, I had calls this week with Sony. I confirmed our intentions, so he's like talking to them. He said, I confirmed that our intent is to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition. Desire to Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important. Like I could see how people could see this different ways, but to me, for the most part, it's literally just saying, look, we worked out something, Call of Duty staying on Xbox. Because to me, why didn't he make this tweet when they announced it? I mean, it's literally, 2 days later?
Yeah, I mean, but he can't talk in absolutes until the.
But he could talk now.
Yeah, it has to be vague.
Something has changed. They've had some kind of conversation because this man could have tweeted this 2 days ago.
But maybe your boy Jimmy Ryan got on the phone with Phil and said, "Okay, what split do you want? How much do you want for Call of Duty?"
Maybe he was just letting all the information digest because we've gotten new information about this every single day since the news broke. So,
right.
What's up, Nautical?
What up, though? How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. What do you think about our boy Philly D? You know, Father Phil, as they say,
Father Phil, Uncle Phil,
Uncle Phil. What do you think about him coming out and saying? I don't know. I don't even know if you saw it, but this is what he said.
I saw it.
Okay, so what do you think?
Can you be more direct? But listen, man, we gonna go through this for a whole nother year. The conversation ain't gonna change.
You're definitely right.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. We're literally 2 days away from this announcement, and every day something new is run to the forefront. No one knows what's really going to happen with this. It's safe to say that, you know, we have some type of evidence on the way that Microsoft would think about this at Xbox, because they did it with Bethesda and nobody thought they would actually do that. But then I heard you say earlier, there is a big difference between 7.5 billion and 67.8 billion. There's a huge difference there. But go ahead.
I just think that Call of Duty is worth more by itself than Bethesda is. Like,
it is.
It's just like,
not even
to me,
not even close.
That is the key factor here. That's why, like, even when this was announced, I was telling people I think it's like a 50-50. Like, I would not be surprised if they still kept it a multiplayer. But you know what I will say, Forte, that's very interesting? That is the only game he mentioned was Call of Duty.
It is the only game. It's the only game that matters.
No Blizzard games. Like, that's the only game. So I think right there, you know, obviously that nothing's confirmed or anything until they actually officially come out with some kind of press release. But right there pretty much just says, like, look, like, you'll probably get Call of Duty, but I think it's safe to say that the majority of the other stuff, if not everything else, is going to be exclusive.
Well, you got to look at it like this. You know, 2021, even though Vanguard was, you know, perceived as one of the worst Call of Duties of the last generation, it's still top MPD for 2021. What was the game that was number 2 for 2021? The previous Call of Duty. Cold War was number 2. What was the one that was in the top 10 before that? Oh, Modern Warfare. The Call of Duty came out 2 years before that, or a year before that. So it's like literally 7. I think it's like 6 of the last 7 most sold games in the last generation were Call of Duty games. Might have been more than that, but it's just a simple fact that it's a big deal. When you're talking about a platform that had an exclusive marketing right throughout the whole entire generation, and a good portion of like 60 to 70% of all of the Call of Duty games were pretty much sold on PlayStation, and that's at a 30% premium that you're getting off each of them. There's going to be a lot of phone calls that's got to be had. Like, okay, so Microsoft, what are you really trying to do here? Like, you talk about inclusion and all this other stuff. You talk about trying to make the gaming community, make the gaming world better. But all in Sony's eyes, all you're doing is hurting it. Now, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as you guys didn't think Microsoft was willing to step up and, you know, prove that they wanted to be a part of this gaming community. And that's pretty much what they have done over the course of the last 2 years by just saying, listen, we're not good at cultivating. They're admitting this to you. They're not good at cultivating teams and building them from the ground up. They're using the assets that they have, which nobody thought they would ever use, was the money that they have available to them to be able to do it. And once,
all right, hold on.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's a case of them not being good at it. It's just like they
haven't shown.
They are behind. They're behind.
They haven't.
You know?
They
are behind. If you look how many studios they had, 2 years ago compared to now, they were behind. So
but why were they behind, Luca? But why were they behind?
Because they closed down studios. Yes.
Okay. Like I said,
that's not an indicator that they're not good at cultivating talent. That just means they closed down those studios for certain reasons.
But you're only as good as what you put in front of me recently, and that was the narrative around Microsoft and around Xbox. Like,
and
how are you going to cultivate? How are you going to cultivate this to do it?
And that's a general sentiment.
Yes.
Which I understand. I'm just saying, like, you can't definitively say they're not good at cultivating talent. I think the reality is they were behind. So they were like, okay, let's open up our wallets and pick up these studios, because people are talking about how we don't have any good games on our platform that define Xbox other than Halo, Gears, and Forza. Now, shout out to my boy Griff with the super chat saying, bruh, I thought the ponies were huffing the copium, but now the bots are in full denial over COD staying multi-plat. LMAO. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like I said earlier, it makes the most sense for Call of Duty to stay on PlayStation. Other people have different perspectives based off Phil's tweet here. I don't know if you saw it, because I know you're not on Twitter, bro. But Phil's like, had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship. I'm taking the "and" to make this sentence 2 statements here, but other people are saying it's just talking about current Call of Duties based off the contract that's out right now. So
I think he's talking about all of Call of Duty, but I also think when he says the word desire, what is the one thing that they desire to be everywhere?
Game Pass.
And what did they say games will go? They basically said all games will go where Game Pass is. So without him even having to say the word Game Pass, that's saying desire. The desire is to have that everywhere, and they're basically saying, and that's another way to get around the whole sanctions about trust and everything, is because they wouldn't have it available on the PlayStation platform. But if they give them an avenue to say, hey, we want this on your platform, this is how we want to do it, instead of it being a $70 game that we only sell on your system, we'll give you an avenue to have a subscription model on your system where you don't only just get this game, you get other games too. And that is another way that they can also skate around these antitrust stuff and get this stuff pushed through faster, because at that point they're giving Sony they're giving them a way out of it. Now, if Sony doesn't take the way out, that's a whole nother thing. You could be absolutely right, Luca. They could put every Call of Duty and leave all of that stuff the way it is. But I think the fact that everybody out here is talking like they know exactly what's going to happen, you don't know what's going to happen in this situation. This is just as uncharted territory that nobody thought would ever happen. And for anybody to sit here and say how Microsoft is going to react by spending $70 billion and getting this IP linked up to their platform in general, it will be a completely different conversation next week. Just know that.
You know what's kind of interesting when you read that too?
Yeah.
That tweet is, hold on, let me bring it back up real quick. So
if you commit to anything in that tweet,
he really doesn't, because if you read it, he said like the part that's set in stone that he actually commits to has nothing to do with what he said. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements. Exactly. Where he's pretty much saying we're going to honor what they agreed to do with you. And then he says, and our desires. So he used commitment terms saying that they're going to honor those deals. But when it came to keeping Call of Duty on PlayStation, he used the word desire.
Desire is a really big word, and I think.
I mean, look, it's like I'd give it 30%. It's exclusive, and 70 that it's not, because I do. At the end of the day, I do feel like, regardless how it goes, like the difference between the Bethesda ones and this is Bethesda stuff needed to be exclusive for them to get their point across. To
Yeah,
me,
I agree.
it could be exclusive or it could not be exclusive, and it's still going to be very annoying for PlayStation. Imagine, first off, they'll lose the marketing rights whenever that marketing right shit's over. Second off, they're going to be in a situation where the biggest game in the industry is in a subscription service on the competition, and you're constantly being attacked every year because you don't have one.
Yeah.
And also, it would help then you could keep exclusive like maps and stuff as just Game Pass perks to make more people sub. Tell you what, if you sub to Game Pass Ultimate, you'll get Call of Duty maps 3 months early. How's that for an incentive?
It's like, look, I get people like, look, I will agree with you. He's very cryptic in this message, but what we can agree with, and I think you would agree, Luca, he didn't say shit like this with Bethesda. Not like this blatant.
Not this early either.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is different.
I missed the wording of desire. Maybe
Yeah,
it is.
the way I feel about it is like, and people are using the Bethesda deal as like a I guess a starting point for this, but I was like, there's a difference between 7 billion and 70 billion, you know?
Huge.
Like there is a huge disparity between those two numbers. So they're probably approaching this in a different way as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it could go either way. It really can.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more towards that they're not exclusive. Because like it's like I was telling Cognito a couple days ago. The worst case scenario for Xbox that they would have to abide to is Call of Duty being a multiplayer Game Pass day and date, and they still get everything else. Diablo most likely is going to be an exclusive. Overwatch most likely is going to be an exclusive. Like that is literally the worst case scenario. Why is Xbox fans upset? Like,
yeah, the Call of Duty championships and stuff, all the marketing around that, once Sony loses it, it will go back to Xbox.
Changing. That's
all that will
changing.
go back.
And you know what? I would not be surprised if that kind of arrangement was even made. Like you know, they talked like, look, because Sony knows that they could go one way just as easy as they can go the other. And I wouldn't be surprised like, look, we'll keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, but you're going to give us a bigger cut, or you're going to take Game Pass. Like, there's so many selections they can do, and I will agree that this is cryptic. But at the end of the day, I am kind of feeling like, you know, it is going to go on there. I don't think it's necessarily the money, Luca, because I feel like the more money they invest, the more the more it makes sense to be exclusive. But in terms of Call of Duty, I do feel like they would be the big bad guy if they took that off of PlayStation.
Yeah, and that was like my point a couple of days ago too when this news came out. I was like, yeah, like, people would be pissed if it wasn't on PlayStation as well, because these are big multiplayer games. Now, shout out to Same Old with the super chat, no message. I don't know if you meant to not send a message, but shout out to you. Whoop didn't know how that worked. Anyway, when you spend 70 billion, you got to speak up. I mean, they can't. I am assuming until the deal is done that they cannot say anything definitively like that. I understand it is frustrating, and that he's not being as clearer, I suppose, because there's room for people to interpret his words in different way. But like at the end of the day, he can't say anything, and he won't be able to say anything until the deal is finalized.
Well, you got to go back to March of last year when they finally sat down with Pete Hines and at the Bethesda roundtable. They were, the first thing they were talking about is how frustrating it was to not be able to come out and say exactly what they needed to say because the deal wasn't done. You know, people were running rampant with just speculation on everything. And as much as they came out and tried to hint at the direction that it was going to happen, people just found just different loopholes in the things that they were saying, you know, just like everybody kept talking about. Phil Spencer was speaking out of both ends when it came to that Bethesda deal. You know, we truly didn't know exactly what was going on, even though in plain sight, they pretty much spelled it out for you. But when you can't directly say it, you kind of leave it open to interpretation. And that's what the greater media is doing. That's what we're doing here. That's what everybody on Twitter is doing. But ultimately, I do agree. Call of Duty is one of those games where it would just be it would be crazy to take it off that platform. I mean, because you're literally giving up a huge piece of the pie by doing that, and then you're hurting. In so many ways, you're kind of hurting them more than anything. But I also think that when Sony didn't come out and actually make any statement on this either. They basically told Microsoft, it was on the Wall Street Journal, they told them, it was like, we expect this Call of Duty to remain multi-platform. Last time I checked, you really can't demand anything of somebody else when they own something. But the fact that they said that, it was kind of like, okay, it did. I was like, okay, that's crazy. But then Phil Spencer comes out with this tweet today.
Okay, let me look at this. Sony. So what did they say? They made. I know they said something about the acquisitions. Hold on.
Can
you pull it up for me?
Yeah, I got you.
Because if a Sony rep came through and was like, "We expect these games to stay multi-plat," and it feels like Call of Duty will stay multi-plat, I don't even understand how this is up for any sort of interpretation. If those two statements came out back to back.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the. I gotta find it. I got it right.
The our desire part's what scared me, because it's their desire. Because Call of Duty is two different entities right now, so I don't know.
It's also PlayStation's desire for these games to stay on PlayStation, man.
But
it sure is.
Can you DM me, bro?
Yeah.
Can you guys DM me like the PlayStation?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I got it on my phone, I believe.
Yeah, let me look at this. Hold on. Just trying to find this, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, here it is. I'll send it.
You got it?
Yeah, I'll send it
All right, cool.
to myself. All right, let me pull this up. All right, let me close out these DMs. Share my screen. Okay, so Nibo says from Bloomberg saying, we expect that Microsoft will abide by contractual agreements and continue to ensure Activision games are multi-platform. So after this particular statement, and then Phil coming through and saying Call of Duty will remain on PlayStation, I mean, what's up? Like, our desire for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation after Sony themselves expressed their desire for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation. So what are we thinking, boys?
In what avenue? Like, what's the key to this is the phone call Phil had with, I would imagine, Jimmy Boy over at Sony. They must have had a phone-to-phone call and something, and that's the issue. It could go either way, and that's the problem. Because Sony could say that. Okay, we expect the games to stay multi-platform. He could say our desire to keep it multi-platform, but what are you expecting in return? What is in it for you to keep it there? What is the reciprocation from Sony?
All right, shout out to Hannibal for the member super chat. He's been a member for 15 months, so shout out to you saying Microsoft is monopolizing the gaming industry. They are not monopolizing the gaming industry because it would have to be a larger percentage, right, in regards to revenue. And,
they're still number 3.
Yeah, currently mobile takes up 57%, and then Microsoft is number 3, and they're right behind Tencent and Sony. So I mean, I know people keep talking about the monopolization. I know we had a hold on, some dude came through and said something. Let me pull this shit up. I want to make sure. Okay, so a is this representative Nadler, whatever the fuck the dude's name is, came through, and that's what he said. He was all like, Activision Blizzard, already a gaming giant, has a pattern of bullying workers to evade accountability for rampant sexual misconduct. I expect this deal to be closely scrutinized to ensure that it won't harm American workers or competition. He quoted this article right here. And apparently some Activision Blizzard... Can you guys see this article? No, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it.
Oh yeah, let
Yeah.
me just reshare it. All right, Activision Blizzard employees voice concerns about Microsoft acquisition. All right, let me go look. All right, so apparently employees of Activision Blizzard woke up this morning to find out that their company is being sold to Microsoft, and many are now discussing the purchase and what it means for them. Many have commented that they'd be fine with Microsoft if it allows them to unionize. Others have called for the immediate removal of Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, who's already announced to resume his role until the purchase closes. This person, hold on, who is this? Okay, Jessica Gonzalez, senior quality engineer at Point Card HQ, previously from Blizzard, Activision, and Treyarch, says that she's disappointed in Phil for allowing Bobby to remain in the role of CEO, but like, you know, if the deal hasn't gone through yet, of course it makes sense for him to remain in his role.
You
People
can't
don't
fire
understand.
you
People
can't
don't
fire
understand that.
someone that you don't have control over.
Well,
Yeah.
people also don't understand that when it comes to acquisitions and stuff, everything needs to stay status quo until it's done, because you got lawyers and all of these different entities going in and evaluating the situation of the company before the acquisition goes through. So you can't change anything. That's why you don't see them closing studios or canceling projects or anything. They want to leave everything status quo until that is done. So as much as everybody wants Bobby Kotick to be up out of there, he has basically a year and however many months to, you know, get as much out of that company as he can before he's gone.
Yeah, Bobby will be walking away with a fat check.
Yeah, fat,
super fat check.
$300 million check when this is all said and done.
5 golden parachutes,
basically.
Right.
Unfortunately, but that's going to kind of be the case. I think most people are just, you know, that's pretty much what I can tell you right now. That's what a lot of these tweets are going to kind of read from, because a lot of these people already left Activision. There's probably still a couple of them that are still there. But yeah, one said no communication from leadership about any of this. And I can imagine it's kind of crazy waking up and hearing that you were self-independent under one publisher and now you're under a conglomerate like Microsoft the next day when this acquisition finally goes through.
Yeah, and like, I'm just reading through all this. This representative talking about how he expects this deal to be closely scrutinized to ensure that it won't harm American workers or competition. He's not saying that it will be. It's just an expectation. So if we're going to break down the word desire, we can break down the word expectation as well.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I love PR speak, because Phil's PR speak is top notch. Whoever helps him is he gotta be paid a lot of money, because like he can say stuff and is just vague enough where you can't pull him up on it because he's not saying either way, but it gets some information out there. It's a masterclass.
You know, and the funny thing is, I don't think people understand the power that Microsoft has when it comes to just going behind the scenes and talking to the people that they need to talk to see if something like this would be a problem. Like, they already reorganized their leadership. They did it, like, literally announced it the day of the acquisition. They made a completely new position for Phil Spencer, and they moved all of these different leadership tokens around in order to make this look understandable to us as the gamer, or just people on the media on the outside, to be like, okay, there's a tier to this now. It isn't just that Phil Spencer's over just Xbox. He's over like gaming completely, like all of it. And it's kind of crazy, but you would think that people would realize that Microsoft probably went to some of these different lawyers and people that have a know of how this is actually going to play out when it comes to this antitrust suit and everything like that, that they're going to probably say like, hey, what's the chances of this not going through? Mm-hmm. Like, how much of a wave are you truly going to make about this? Of course, they got to go through their whole situation where they got to, you know, check in and do all the stuff that they need to do on the back end, because none of us know anything about any of this. We know that still has to happen. But for people to think that they don't have an inkling of an idea of how much or the percentage chance of this actually going through before they decided to say we're going to spend this much money and commit that to this. It's kind of crazy. So it's a good chance that this is more than likely going to go through, because I think Microsoft probably did their due diligence over the last 3 months of this being, services over the course of November, where they said that this actually started up when they reached out to Bobby Kotick about purchasing Activision back in November.
All right. Shout out to Sin with Super Chat saying, if a company that has a market share of greater bitch, are you okay? Okay. If a company has a market share of greater than 75%, they will probably be considered a monopoly. So
Yeah,
the gaming community is too big for that.
and the thing is, you also have to take into account what's counted as gaming is the mobile. As people say, no one cares about mobile gaming. It's still counted as a share of the gaming market because it's still gaming. Because
Right.
gaming in of itself is everything. So consoles, mobile phones, etc. So you would have to conquer a lot of the mobile space to even be considered a monopoly at that point.
Yeah.
I'm just reading through this shit online. All right. So as of 2019, console gaming had a market share of 30%, just behind mobile gaming. So that was a couple years ago. I don't know how much it's at right now, though. See here. But yeah, I honestly speaking, let's just break it down and be very clear. None of us know what the fuck we're talking about because none of us
Right.
are fucking lawyers. All right.
Right.
Yep.
So none of us work in the financial field to even have an inkling of idea of what's going on. We can only go off what we think and what's being said so far. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm gonna wait. I can't imagine that they would start the process of this deal without knowing that it was going to go through. I can't imagine that they wouldn't go to their own lawyers and talk to them about, hey, are we able to purchase Activision Blizzard? Is that possible? Is it going to raise any concerns? I just can't imagine that they would start this process and there wouldn't be any due diligence on their part. It just doesn't make any sense, logically speaking. So,
Right.
I'm definitely someone, I have my viewpoints and my thoughts on what they're going to do. Once again, I think Call of Duty is going to stay a multi-plat, personally. Phil says so, but other people are taking Phil's words to me. Yeah, mean something
Oh
different.
no, I was just Hogue. Oh, okay. Hogue Law. He just uploaded the video on this. Now, given that he's actually a lawyer, he just did a video about what Phil said. So actually, this will probably give a bit more insight because
I'm gonna watch that after this.
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
check it out
because
after this.
he's an actual lawyer.
I watched his last 2 videos on, and then
Yep.
a lot, and like he said, a lot of he's saying a lot. And the funny thing, he's saying a lot of the things that we're saying. He's just very much
He
more in the
actually
know about it.
knows what he's talking about.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
He's saying what we're saying, but he knows exactly what's going on. And the biggest thing he even said, this is like we said, 60 to 70% that is a good chance that this is going to go through. But it really just comes down to how they divvy up the thoughts of how Call of Duty is going to be out there. Like regulatorily, what they want to get this through as fast as possible. They can do that if they probably promise that Call of Duty is going to stay on a PlayStation platform, because at that point, you're just taking over ownership of it versus taking it away from PlayStation or taking it away from other gamers in general. But there's other ways that they can do that through Game Pass too, but it's only time is going to tell. And I know people are going to be super impatient about this because they were very impatient about the whole Bethesda one too. This is just going to hit a little bit harder for a lot more people until they finally come out sometime next year and give the actual thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, like I said, man, I have a very clear thought process on what I think about this.
Right.
And I don't see it wavering anytime soon unless he flat out comes out and says, we're only talking about Warzone and we only mean until 2023. So, I have my thoughts. Other people have their thoughts. It is what it is. Shout out to my boy Smokes with Super Chat saying, what are we doing here? It's like if I say I'm black, then you say, actually, you're you're a light bronze brown man. COD gonna remain on PlayStation for $70 annually, and if you don't want to pay, then go to Game Pass. Microsoft wins either way. I can't
True.
say I disagree with you, bro.
That's the truth.
Shout out to Red Hair Halo Jeff saying, I hope we get good games on both sides now. Yes. Shout out to JB Golden with Super Chat saying, I find it amusing that Activision probably could have gotten more money if Bobby wasn't such a dummy and tried to get another buyer before having their stock tank so hard because of what is that? WSJ uncovered? What is that? Wall Street Journal?
Yeah, Wall Street Journal.
The
funny thing is,
I hear you, buddy, but Bobby like is getting what, 300 million?
I also think they weren't going to sell the company.
Bobby is getting how much money?
300 million.
Bobby's getting 300 million when this is all said and done. So I'm sure he does not give a fuck, bro. I'm gonna give a real few.
But yeah, but it ultimately comes down like people. I don't think if the stock didn't tank like it did, Activision wouldn't have sold the company.
Yeah.
They would just stay because look, they didn't even want to do it at first. The company was valued at $103 billion, and Microsoft bought it at 95 because it was a 45% premium because the stock had dropped to $62 versus 103. So Microsoft bought it at a 30% discount or something like that. So why wouldn't you do it? And who knows? And trust me, you never know how a stock is going to bounce back, especially with Call of Duty being in a decline and everything this year.
When did the Wall Street Journal stuff come out?
November.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when that's when they started implicating Bobby Kotick and actually knowing about it in November. And that's around the same time that Phil Spencer put out the tweet saying that we need to reevaluate our business with Activision. And who knew that reevaluating it came up to being this? And that's why everybody keeps saying that this was directly tied to the fact that Activision's stock price had dropped and Microsoft swooped in to say, hey, how much would it cost? He called Bobby Kotick directly and asked him, we gave you a number. And Bobby did an interview recently saying that, we left the table with Microsoft and they wanted to pursue other opportunities. They said they went to Facebook and them didn't give them the time of day. And they said that the lucrative offer that Microsoft gave them is something that they went with. And that's why you see what just happened. So this all literally happened in 3 months.
Damn, even Facebook didn't want you? Oh, yeah. You know you're doing something wrong if Facebook doesn't want you.
Yeah. So I implore anybody that really wants to really truly know, because this is what we do here. This Scumcast, we're all about knowing exactly what we're talking about. So make sure you go check out all those different articles. Check out the Wall Street. Go check out the interview with Bobby Kotick. Go check all that stuff out, because that's the only way you're going to know exactly what happened. Because I guarantee you, all these people out here talking about this don't even know that Bobby Kotick came out and said all of these different things over the course of the last 2 days, and even how this started with a phone call from Phil Spencer saying, "Yo, you in trouble, bro. We need, you ready to sell?" And that's how this all started.
All right, Luca, I gotta go.
See you later, buddy.
Later, bro.
See you later. Later.
So it says here the company brought the proposition to Microsoft, so it wasn't the other way around.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, they brought the conversation to Microsoft, and Microsoft said, yeah. How much? Your stock is $65 a share, where it used to be $103. Crazy.
Yeah. This is interesting. I'm gonna read through this.
Isn't it like the stuff that you never would think would be as interesting as it is becomes super interesting because it's in the wheelhouse of the thing that you love, which is gaming.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something. I definitely think people are going to take this, and I don't know. Like I said, I had very clear thoughts on what they were doing with shout out to Jedno Super Chat saying y'all still neutrals. How many times do I have to say I prefer Xbox before people understand that?
I don't think anybody on this on Scumcast or that associates themselves with this channel will say they're a neutral.
Except for Slomo. That PC
cup. That's true. That's true. Slow-mo does have his moments, but
yeah, I'm like, I mean, like I said, I've gotten a bunch of people saying the same thing. I'm like, dude, I've been saying I prefer Xbox for fucking years now. I still have
Same.
I still have a PS5. I have a gaming rig, but you know, it
But
is what it
where
is.
did you spend your time? I mean, you spend your time on Xbox except for when you're watching TV shows and you do it on your PlayStation.
Yeah, but shout out to you, Jet. No, I appreciate the super chat. FC says, "What do you think, Luca?" This is what I think. I think that Call of Duty will remain a multi-plat past 2023 because I think that taking it off of PlayStation is not something they want to do. That's what I think, and based off what Phil said. Other people have different thoughts based on what he said. They think that he's talking about short term, that is. They think he's saying up until the point where the deal is finalized. They think he's talking solely about the current agreements that are in place, even though I took the statement as two separate portions of the sentence. Other people took it as a consolidated statement. So
yeah, it's just I just think it's crazy that so many people are just talking about something they really truly don't know. That's the thing, and I should have, and I expected it because they did the same thing with the last acquisition. And now the question comes down to what's next for Microsoft, because I truly don't believe this is it. I believe this is just part of it. I think this was a golden opportunity for them to purchase a entity that is huge that they didn't think they would have had the opportunity to even do that with. I don't even think this was the next acquisition for Microsoft. It just happened to be like, yo, we're getting this at a huge discount. You know, Phil goes talks to Nadella, is like, okay, this is what we want to do. Nadella looks at the numbers, say, yo, Call of Duty is one of the biggest it's not one of, it is the biggest consistent franchise ever right now, and we have the opportunity to get it at a 30% discount, and that's what they did. So I think this was just something that just happened, which is kind of crazy when you think about just the grand scheme of a company just saying, I'm going to drop $70 billion on something that just happened.
Yeah, I would love if Game Pass was on PlayStation because I think it would be really funny. I mean, it's a great deal, obviously.
It's a great deal.
But I just think it would be really funny. It would be really funny. So,
but at a certain, but then, like I said, the only thing that stops it from that happening is this whole Spartacus thing that they have going on, and I just feel like, and even with that, at a certain point, it's like, what are you going to do for games? I mean, yeah, you have your first party games, and I said this earlier today. Me and Slomo were live. The people always try to equate PlayStation's first party to being the best of the best, and I do think on a quality front, it absolutely is that. But when it comes to people that go out and buy a system just for that platform, I don't think anybody does it better than Nintendo does it. That's why they can sell 50 and 60 million copies of one game on their platform because their player base supports the platform for those games. PlayStation and let's be for real, PlayStation and Xbox are not driven by the first party when it comes to the masses. They're driven by games like Call of Duty, Madden, NBA, wherever those games go. That's why we always said when this generation started, you know, it's going a lot slower right now due to the fact that there's no systems available. But we said when Call of Duty, Madden, and all of these other games that normally come out every year that people gravitate to, when they decide to move to next generation, that's when technically the next generation truly begins for the casual gamer. So with Call of Duty having the ability to probably not be on a PlayStation platform, that's a huge thing that could literally be taken away from Sony, and a lot of people could just come back to Xbox because that's what happened with Call of Duty in 2013 when the marketing rights flipped over, when the 30-day early access flipped over, when Microsoft lost their ability to basically have Call of Duty as one of those staple franchises that you bought an Xbox for happen. Even knowing it was available on another platform, they made it feel like it was an Xbox exclusive game because of all the things they were giving you. And Sony took that away from them by getting that marketing deal. Now, Sony isn't in that situation probably in 2024. Let's see what happens then. But people really need to realize that just because they have a strong first party, it's not the strongest first party of all first parties, because that's Nintendo. And the third party is what really sells all of these different platforms. That's the reason Xbox and PlayStation do as well as they do. And if you start plucking away third parties, that's when it's going to be a huge issue on platforms like PlayStation or Xbox if Sony does come around and say, we're just going to take Square Enix away from you. And if they do something like that, then that's when the domino starts going down the road and people don't know really what to think about it.
Okay. Well, listen,
all
I know is that I already feel really annoyed about this conversation and thinking about how we're going to have to deal with this for the next fucking year and a half about people speculating on what he could have meant. And I'm already over it. After the whole Bethesda thing, I'm like, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to fucking hear it again. But I know it's just what I'm going to have to deal with. So go ahead, Connor, and respectfully disagree.
Yeah, I just I don't see why you would spend $70 billion on arguably the largest casual market in gaming and not make future entries past 2023 exclusive, given that we know that typically with casual markets, wherever that casual game that they love so much and sink so many hours into, they usually flock towards. They're not brand associated like hardcore fanboys are. True. So why it's not about necessarily and why would you give up essentially leaping forward in the market leader race just because, oh well, Sony's going to be mad at us?
So let me ask you this, my man Soapbox, missed you, bro.
It's Connor.
I call him.
Call me what you want.
I call him Soapbox because right now, I know his name's Connor. I know, but no, let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
The same. So Xbox had the world when they had Call of Duty. They had the Call of Duty championships back in 2013. They had 30-day exclusivity to all the DLC. Call of Duty was selling, I want to say close to like 1.7 to almost 2 to 1 when it comes to Call of Duty versus PlayStation.
Right.
And all that disappeared when the marketing deal happened with PlayStation. So PlayStation didn't have to take away Call of Duty from Xbox in order to make that happen. I truly believe that Game Pass by itself will do it. You know why would Game Pass by itself, even if they left Call of Duty on PlayStation, Game Pass by itself will literally bring people over to the Xbox ecosystem, because if that's the only game if that's one of the only few games you play, and even if one or two of your friends decide to jump ship, because that's what happened in 2013, friends jump ship, and once enough of them do it, they all start doing it. And then when all of the pro players and all of the Call of Duty content creators and stuff are switching over, and those people have millions and millions of eyes on their channels every month, and they see that they're playing on Xboxes, that's when you start seeing the mind share of the casual base flipping over. Now, is it like you're talking like they're going to be they're giving up 30% of whatever number they're selling on PlayStation. But if they're still selling on PlayStation but getting all of those people just wanting to flip over just because they feel like it's beneficial just to stay with their friends, or they see their favorite content creators doing it, then you'll see they're not really having a bad egg in the fight at that point. They look at it like, okay, Microsoft has it over here. This is what they're giving us. PlayStation has this. We fit, but all my friends are on this platform. So what do you think about that type of scenario?
I don't know. Once again, everything is still, this generation is still so early and up in the air that nothing is 100% set in stone. But given how aggressive Microsoft has been with this generation in particular, and wanting to get ahead and wanting to not just be the market leader, but to dominate with Game Pass as their main business model, I don't see how they give up this opportunity. I mean, I definitely see them probably trying to, especially with what Phil said, their desire to, using this as a scenario to sort of strong arm a way onto PlayStation with Game Pass. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see play out. But like I said, I just wanted to say, I think I respectfully disagree mainly for the fact that I don't think you would give up this opportunity. Sony would not give up this opportunity. Nintendo would not give up this opportunity. No console manufacturer is going to give up this huge leg up on the competition like this.
Yeah, I truly, and it is this one thing that we didn't talk when Singer was here earlier. Let's say Game Pass does end up on PlayStation.
Right.
That doesn't change the fact that I still think if Game Pass shows up on PlayStation, that Xbox wouldn't allow games to be sold on PlayStation 2. Because I think at that point, they're like, okay, you have two options. Game Pass, I think, is the catalyst in order to get the games on the platform. But once they're on the platform, I do think Xbox will give you the ability to buy those games directly through Game Pass at whatever discount they do on Xbox right now. And you'll still be able to probably buy those games directly through Game Pass on the system. But you have to have Game Pass over there to do it.
Let me get these super chats. Shout out to Yobi, who's been a member for 9 months, saying, we need more content, Luca. We love you. I love you guys too. And then shout out to Lionel, the super chat, saying Nintendo does just fine without Call of Duty. If it came to it, Sony can. What the fuck? If it came to it, Sony can figure out a PS5 without Call of Duty and still sell 100 million.
I don't know about that.
Lionel.
I don't know about that, Lionel. And to answer what Braze the Dead is saying in the chat, like Sony is greedy, Sony wants money. You don't know PlayStation. I don't know PlayStation, but I know America. I know corporations in general, and they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that they're ahead and that they dominate. Game Pass on PlayStation, I personally don't see it unless the PlayStation brand takes a huge dramatic drop off. You would have to literally put them in back them into a corner where Xbox sales and Game Pass numbers are so high and PlayStation retention and player counts are so low that is the only way that I see Game Pass ever getting on a Sony platform.
Yeah. You could be right about. I mean, it'll be a while till we see something like that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be until like the tail end of this generation, the start of the new generation, because it's still so early. Obviously, with the pandemic affecting a lot of supply chains and people not having these machines readily available to them, you really won't know until the tail end. And maybe this generation's life cycle will go on a bit longer. I'm not entirely sure, maybe by a year or two, but we're not really going to know. This is all future proofing, in my opinion. This is all to make sure that later down the line, 10 years, 15 years down the line, that they sure have a grip on the marketplace.
Right. Hey, I agree with that 100%.
So, I mean, regardless, this is huge news. And I've seen a lot of people like online, especially, I'm a pony, right? I've seen a lot of my pony brethren, hold out hope and be like, oh, well, it's going to still come. No, why would it come? It's not going to come. Warzone for sure is going to stay on PlayStation products. That's a live service. That's already, it's going to be like Elder Scrolls Online.
Yep. I agree 100%.
But like the next Elder Scrolls game, Elder Scrolls 6 isn't coming to a PlayStation product. So why would the next yearly entry of a Call of Duty game come?
Listen, man, you make good points, man. But like I say, ultimately, as much as I'm with you, I agree. It doesn't make sense for that stuff to come over there. But just like with the whole Bethesda thing, I looked at it. I was like, we really don't know, because these companies aren't giving you any type of faith in any direction they're going to go to. And that really wasn't solidified until Microsoft did their roundtable with Bethesda and came out and said, this is exactly what we're doing. And guess what? Most people that stuck to their guns and said that stuff's going to be exclusive, you were vindicated that day. But for the most part, it was a lot of people that were just like, I can't believe this and this and that. But if you put your feelings involved into it, and that's what I want people to do. Don't look at this in a situation that is for you, because ultimately what you want and what a $1 billion or $1 trillion company wants are two different things. They could easily put this and keep it on multiple platforms and just rake in the money from all the different revenue sources that they have. I mean, just in 2021 alone, Activision Blizzard brung in $8.8 billion in revenue. 8.8 billion in revenue by itself. So who knows exactly what those numbers are going to look like under Xbox when it comes to Game Pass. Like I said, this isn't the best of years for games like Call of Duty, which is one of the biggest revenue generators for them.
Yes.
So we don't know exactly what that's going to look like. But please believe Game Pass, know this. They even said it in their announcement that they're going to get as many games of Activision Blizzard into Game Pass when this acquisition is complete. That was the one thing that they did. They basically confirmed 100%. So you as an Xbox gamer or you as a PC gamer that plays with Game Pass and everything, you already pretty much won when it comes to that. What happens with PlayStation shouldn't even really matter to you at this point, because
no,
you don't even you shouldn't even care about that. I mean, if you care about that, that's just because you care about the console war. You want to stick it to the other side, and that's fine for water cooler and fun talk. But ultimately, it really just comes down to, if you're an Xbox fan, you already know that Call of Duty is going to be in the staple of the ecosystem that you already thrive in. And that's a great thing for the value that we keep talking about Game Pass is.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Game Pass is just going to get bigger from here on out. That like, it's not even like a question at this point. It's a matter of when they hit certain numbers and how much bigger it's going to get and change the industry as years progress on. I mean, we're like really on the precipice of that stuff. And like, as far as Sony goes, they'll be fine for the most part. They will take a dip in numbers for sure, 100%. But they're still going to keep doing what they've been doing. I think for them to try and combat this, like all of my pony brethren online have like been losing their minds of being like, no, they need to buy Square. Oh, they need to talk to Capcom. They need to talk to Bandai Namco. It's like, I don't think any move that they sort of want to counter with is going to be able to adequately combat this, right? They need to go on every single front that they possibly can to try and still remain the quote unquote market leader or in competition in some people's eyes, right? So meaning new IPs, new multiplayer games, bringing back old IPs, old beloved franchises, along with probably updating and getting with the times and being a lot more communicative. That has always been Sony's biggest fault, is not being very transparent with their fan base. And that needs to change moving forward, along with them doing what they did in the PS4 generation and capitalizing on whatever faults that the Xbox and Microsoft brand may have along the way.
Right. And I'm going to ask you this. What do you think is the next move for PlayStation? Because for me, I feel like even with this today, with Phil Spencer come out and saying all this stuff about the desire of keeping Call of Duty over there.
Yeah.
If I was PlayStation, I can't depend on that. You're talking about 18 months from now, or however long it takes for this to go through, and hoping that Microsoft does the right thing when it comes to what you want them to do. What would you do, or what do you think they should do over the next 18 months to prepare for a scenario if Call of Duty is not going to be available on a PlayStation platform? What is the steps you think they should take?
The steps that they're already been taking, especially bringing on the old Call of Duty heads, and they heading up Deviant or whatever that studio's called for whatever multiplayer IP they have next. That's always been sort of a fault within the PS4 generation for Sony, is that they never had an adequate multiplayer game to sort of combat and bring in the casuals, and they seemingly are doing that. You'll probably hear something about that by 2023, 2024. Don't expect it in the next year at least. But people saying that Sony doesn't need to respond, that's not true. They're going to respond. It's just not going to be in a blatant way like how Microsoft just responded. I mean, they can't dig into their pockets and buy a publisher. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people, when they look at the differences between the sizes of the company, they kind of put PlayStation in a situation where they can't find anything. PlayStation does have a name behind them, and we do know that creditors and other entities will go out of their way to align themselves with it. They may not be able to go out and buy like a Take-Two or something like that. But guess what? They can do a merger and acquisition. They can merge with a company easily. They can merge with something like Take-Two and bring Take-Two into the fold where they're mutual partners, and they still can do the same exact effect. Right. There's a lot of different ways that they can go about this. But I think when people think that Sony can't do something, I'm like, you might want to hold off on that. And I think Square Enix is the easiest one to pick out because not only do they have a good relationship with them, they have a relationship with them when it comes to Disney as a partner, because Disney, and the way that they have the Marvel situation all divvied up, they're the only two publishers that make Marvel games at this point. So
Basically.
they can do a lot of things around that in general. And then don't think that Sony is above, this is like a weakened state for Sony right now. Who says Sony isn't being looked at by these bigger companies like Disney or something? Like, okay, let's have a conversation about how we can, get you back to where you need to be at, because those are other opportunities, not just what Sony can do, but what other companies bigger than Sony feel like they can do for Sony.
Oh yeah, I agree with what Digital said in the chat, where it's like it needs to be like the PS3 era where Sony floods the market with exclusives. That's whether it's timed exclusive,
Yes.
whether it's original IP. I mean, like you just said, I think Sony's really going to lean into the Marvel and Disney relationships. I think if Wolverine goes just as well as Spider-Man has, they'll greenlight more Marvel projects if they haven't already. And I think if this KOTOR remake goes without a hitch, Disney will definitely probably greenlight whatever Star Wars project Sony wants to make from here on out. I mean, like you said, there's a ton of different angles that they can attack this with. And I just don't buy into this theory that they don't need to respond, that like everything's just going to be fine. They need to be prepping, and they need to be future proofing down the line, or they're going to find themselves in a situation like the PS3 again, where, they kind of get not necessarily forgotten about, but it's not the popular brand.
Right. I just think at a certain point it just comes down to, and that guy Smitty just said, they could be the MCU of video games when it comes to like the acquisition of Squaresoft and everything like that. But I also think they have 35 games in development, across for PlayStation 5 right now. So over the course of the next 18 months, I think they probably need to bring to light a lot of those games that they do have in development, because even if they can't go out and buy somebody, show more of the roadmap, because right now we only know a handful of it. But if you get more people excited about the things that are coming for the PlayStation 5, that's coming from all of these different, not acquisition, but partnerships and stuff that they have, they can really, really calm the nerves of a lot of PlayStation gamers out there. Because let's be for real, the ones that are complaining right now are the ones that really don't know what to do, are the hardcore fans. I don't know why most of them are even really truly worried about this whole Call of Duty situation. I get that, Call of Duty is a big game and you may play it, but this doesn't mean you need to run out and throw your PlayStation in the trash or trade it in to get an Xbox. To get an Xbox. Just go out and keep your PlayStation. And if Call of Duty happens to be exclusive on Xbox and you find out that's the actual case of it being, then just go to wherever Game Pass is available to play Call of Duty there. You don't have to give up on the PlayStation. I feel like PlayStation is too big of a brand for people to feel like it's over for Sony. It's over because they don't have this, they don't have that. There's a lot of things that Microsoft wish they had that PlayStation and Sony actually have, and they have the love of their fans, and they have the love of their IPs. God of War is one of my favorite IPs of all time. It's the literal reason I have a PlayStation 5 sitting next to me, and it wasn't because of Call of Duty. It was because of that game. Don't worry about what casual people do. Casual people just make PlayStation look better because they sell more systems because of that. Don't worry about them. Worry about what you want from PlayStation and just ask for that type of stuff from them. Don't worry about everything else.
No, I mean, I think people are really like getting into the weeds of this and like really being like, well, they're saying Sony's dead. Sony's not going anywhere. They have been a staple within video games since the very, the beginning. They have a very long tenured history. They're not going anywhere. That's not like what people are saying. It's just that, they're going to have tougher competition this time around. And that seems to get lost in the weed. I don't really understand. As a Sony guy, I understand that. I mean, Persona just did a whole stream yesterday talking about that. Like, this is going to be a hit for them. And people need to realize that. Like, is it going to be a big hit for the hardcore fans like myself or whoever else don't really participate in any of the Activision ecosystem, no.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter. I'm still going to play God of War Ragnarok when it comes out. I'm still going to buy Horizon. I'm still going to buy any of these exclusives that come out. The thing is that the casual market is a huge dictator when it comes to video games. And people, and especially within our community, the hardcore gaming community, people don't seem to necessarily understand that. And this is going to be a bit of an a wake-up call for a lot of like hardcore Sony fans when they see that there is going to be a dip in numbers in sales, and that it is going to be a tougher competition this time around. And like I said, I'm a pony, Luca. I don't care about no Xbox. What's Xbox to me, right? I play on PlayStation, bro. But I'm a Pegasus. Like, what are we doing? But like, you know, I'd be stupid not to acknowledge the facts that are right in front of me.
Right. No, I agree. I don't know if Luca came back. Luca probably walked out there.
No,
No, I'm still here. I'm listening.
He was letting us go. You know what, Luca? I feel
Mhm.
like I'm back a little bit. You know, I've been kind of, you know, off game because I haven't really been doing anything but working. But man, it feels good to have something that you actually want to talk about.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
So
For sure.
to actually want to talk about in the gaming community now.
Yeah. Hello, guys. What's up, guys, in the chat who
About
came
it,
through?
Luca.
I like all the content lately, Luca. You've been on a roll.
I know. Oh my god, I'm actually putting shit out. What a fucking
I
shock.
know.
Yeah,
Good.
it has been good. All right. Well, thank you guys for sharing your thoughts. I'm going to be on a wait and see when it comes to this stuff at this point. I already gave my viewpoint and perspective on everything earlier in the stream. And I will stick with that until further notice. Shout out to, what is that? Rabadon202 saying, I truly believe that Apple, Meta, or Amazon is going to come in and try to buy Sony, and that will be the answer. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Interesting perspective.
Man, the metaverse. I can't wait until I get to be Batman. It's going to be great.
All right, go ahead and do your outros and let people know where they can find you, guys.
You go ahead, Forte.
Yeah, guys, you already know I'm always here with the family, Luca. But it's Gaming Forte everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, PlayStation. DPS podcast will be tonight on my channel with the homeboy Slow-Mo Backslap. We're going to pretty much rehash a lot of this stuff. I know Slow-Mo hasn't got a chance to talk about the new information that just came out today from Phil Spencer. So if you want to hear what my co-partner has to say, you know, the man, the myth, the legend, make sure you come through at 9:00 and check us out. But Luca, as always, I love the content on the channel, and I'm just glad to be off work when you're doing it so I can do it with you.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. All right, go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Soapbox Gaming, Soapbox Games, that's on Twitter and my channel. I do weekly content, video game related content, as well as superhero related content. Like I said, you can find me at that on everything. But yeah, thanks, Luca. You know, I always appreciate it. I'm really glad that I became you guys' Scum, your Scum homie this year.
We're happy for it too, bro. Of course. And shout out to everyone who came through. Maybe we'll do a stream tomorrow, depending on what news comes out. Got nothing but love for you guys, but if not, I'll catch you for another episode of Scumcast. Peace, everybody.
Peace.